Hey YouTube, this is Jaden Storm coming at you with a random rant, but before I get on to that, I'm going to briefly show you something. At my sneak peek this weekend, I did obtain two Tetra Drive mats. One is already accounted for because it's going to my good friend Zach, who you've seen on the channel before because he's about to be a daddy, and it will make the perfect You're a Daddy present. And the second one, I haven't quite decided what to do with yet. So if you are interested in it, let me know. And then also, if anyone is interested in it, I still have also an Alfred mat. So, Jay got mats. Okay, guys, now, keep in mind my random rants can range from anything from Vanguard to anything. And today it's going to reference sports. Now, before you shut the video off, at least hear me out what it is about, because it's not particularly about sports. It's more on a topic of a thing that is in our society to this day, but it happened in the sports world, so ESPN was the one that announced it. Okay. So, guys, you've heard of this thing called TMZ. Now, normally when I hear something, TMZ reported this, I think, oh, great, yeah, what's now? Did Ashton Kutcher OD for the 5th time? Did Justin Bieber get shot in a drive-by? Did Britney Spears drop another kid? Did Chris Brown punch another girl? I mean, it's TMZ. They're not exactly what I'd call a reliable source of information. But this time they at least got it. They reported something pretty interesting. Now, if you are a sports follower like myself and you at least read some sort of sports news, like maybe you have an app on your phone, because I have two, and have alerts sent to me pretty much all during the day. If you turn on ESPN, if you listen to sports radio, or you haven't been living under a fucking rock for the last few days, you have heard about the racism comments. And, that's a report from the game. You have probably heard about the racist comments made by Los Angeles Clippers owner Donald Sterling. I almost said Donald Gilbert, but Gilbert's the owner of the Cavs. No, Gilbert was a former player. Okay, anyway, Donald Sterling. Pretty much, and you can go on TMZ's website and probably see this among a lot of other wrong things, but at least this, they have a tape of this 10-minute conversation that took place. Also, guys, if you hear a noise in the background, it's a fan, because it's hot as fuck in this room and in this house, and my air conditioning's broken. It won't be able to be fixed till tomorrow, and it's either that or I doubt y'all want to see me singing some It's Getting Hot in here and taking my clothes off, so you're gonna have to deal with fan noise. But anyway, he has this conversation with his girlfriend, and his girlfriend goes on. Pretty much long and the short of it is they get into this racist discussion, and she is talking about that she got to meet Irvin Johnson, better known to the world as Magic Johnson, and she met him, and she had a picture with him, and she took a picture, and then she posted it on her Instagram. Now, what happened after this was, I guess her boyfriend, this man who's like 40 years older than her, found out about this picture, and he lost it. Now, by lost it, I mean, he was like, why do you gotta advertise it? Yeah, I mean, why do you have to associate with those people? I mean, we're back, honestly, racism to me, when it's brought up, it's like, because I've even been on the receiving end of it. I was once at you know how you go to like a deli sometimes and there's one person in front of you, but you're looking, but you already know what you want and they're still looking, and the person will come to the counter. And this is what happened. The lady came to the counter and looked at this woman. It was an older black woman and her little boy. And the woman said, "Do you know what you want?" And the woman said, "No, ma'am, I'm still looking." And then she looked towards me and she said, "Well," she looked at me and she said, "Do you know what you want?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm here to pick up an order." And an order that I called in. And she said, "Well, ma'am, while you look, I'm going to get this man his order so he can get in and out of here." And the woman proceeds to look at me and then look back at the woman and go, "Oh, is it because he's white? I'm a black woman. You're racist?" And I these were my exact words. I looked at her and I said, "Really? Really?" It's like, really? You play the race card in a deli, really? I hate the fact that this is still around. I mean, I don't care what color your skin is, white, black, brown, green, purple, yellow, I do not give a fuck. I mean, yeah, we make racist jokes. Who doesn't? But I don't believe them. I just say them for comedic reasons or the moment. But anyway, so he goes on, and this goes on for 10 minutes, and it's just the same splurge, and he's like, don't associate with them, admire them from a distance, and she's like, yeah, but what's wrong with me admiring Magic Johnson and let it not be known that I do admire Magic as a person, and people should admire Magic Johnson. He contracted AIDS when this guy was one of the most publicized athletes on the planet, and one of the most talented, and arguably the only guy you could make a case that is better than Michael Jordan from that era, in my opinion. That's another topic. But he took it. He took all the negativity. He took it with a smile. And he persevered. And he got through it. And he broke down a lot of barriers, And it's like, you know what? I don't blame Donald Sterling's girlfriend for admiring Magic Johnson. Hell, I admire Magic Johnson. He's the best point guard that ever lived in the game of basketball. He's a hell of a player. He's a hell of a businessman, too. Why shouldn't you admire Magic Johnson? And after she explains this, he's like, fine, I don't care. Bring him here. Bring him to the games. Feed him. Fuck him. I don't care, but I don't want to hear about it. And he says just a lot of things in this rant of his, and it's like, okay, you're the owner of a National Basketball Association team, the Los Angeles Clippers, and you have a problem with black people, or you're a racist against colored people, because he even goes on to say just colored people in general. You do realize that 75%, I'd say, of the NBA is black. Okay? You're an owner, yet you have a problem with it, yet you seem not to have the problem of owning a NBA basketball team. And one that is, believe it or not, had a pretty good chance of doing something this season. You have the best coach in the league, Doc Rivers, who's black. Your best player, Chris Paul, is black. You have a lot of good black players on this team, and you pick now the playoffs, the most stressful time for these players now to spew this. Now, I'm not giving his girlfriend a pass on here. Something tells me that she might have been in on this. Maybe she recorded this conversation and then gave it, because what also makes me mad is there are people out there now who are playing the foghorn leghorn card on this guy, like. And by that I mean, now that this tape's been out and everyone knows about it, and he's not allowed to attend the games, some people are going, why, I can't believe that he would say things like that. Yeah, I can't believe it. You do realize this isn't the first time he's been accused of this, right? And you didn't blow up Twitter, you weren't calling for his head, you weren't chanting, Donald Sterling sucks at NBA games then, but now when this comes out by TMZ of all sources, this is the time you just jump down the man. Yeah, I'm not saying what he did isn't drastically wrong and he shouldn't be punished for it, but you can't really let him get a pass on the first 3 times and then just jump down his throat at it. I really don't think that gives you the right. Now, granted, not everyone knows about those 3 times, but if you are aware of those past 3 times and now's the time you pick to jump down and jump the gun and get ready to, little bad timing. Well, I watched the Los Angeles Clippers game on television tonight, and all basketball players, they wear a warm-up long sleeve over their jersey. When they took off their windbreaker top. I don't know exactly what they're called. We just call them our warm-up gear, but when you take that off, guys, it's kind of like a windbreaker. You take that off, and then there's a long sleeve t-shirt, and then you take that off, and then there's your jersey. Well, when they took those things off, their shirts, which the Los Angeles Clippers make, their shirt colors are red, and they have a big white ball here, and it says, ow, just bit my tongue, Los Angeles Clippers on it. They had their t-shirts turned inside out. There were people calling to boycott, but I can understand why they wouldn't. Okay. Shaquille O'Neal made the comment on ESPN after the game, you don't go out there to win a game for your owner. You go out there to win it for yourself and for your team. So, if they had boycotted the game, you're not hurting the owner, really. I mean, if you have the money to buy an NBA team, you're really not that hard up for dough, if you know what I mean. You're hurting your teammates, you're hurting your fans that support you through the good and the bad parts of the season, the ups, the downs, the loss streaks, the win streaks, and the true fans, not the bandwagon fans. But my whole thing on this is, I agree with what LeBron James said. There's no room for a guy like this in the NBA. I don't agree with it. I think it is. I'm not black, obviously, but I do have a huge problem with this guy because, Magic Johnson even said today early, I did consider him a friend, and now he spews all this, and obviously he still considered him a friend after the first 3 times because he didn't mention that, but now, he spews this all over, and, there are people who are just calling for his head. Well, the NBA, they still haven't decided what they're going to do for it yet. Commissioner Silver, what he said today was they're still doing their investigation, and it will be quickly decided what is going to happen to him. Most likely, I will be shocked if the NBA allows him to remain owner. Probably what they're going to do is they're going to force him to sell to someone else. I don't know who's going to be willing to buy them. It's going to be also interesting to see what players that are currently under contract for next season or the seasons following next season that are going to put their hand up and say, hey, I want out of here. I don't want to be a part of this. I'm done. If this was, if this team wasn't in the playoffs, they probably wouldn't have a roster right now, would be my best guess. But I don't know, guys. So give me your thoughts on this. What do you think the NBA should do about Donald Sterling and his racist rant? Do you think they should just fine him and suspend him? Do you think they should force him to sell his team? What? So anyway, guys, excuse me, guys, gosh. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you weren't a sports fan, I hope you still watch this just to hear what my idea was, because I think racism overall is still something that is way too, because I know it's still around even today, and you might even see it in your everyday life, and I honestly hate the idea of racism. History class, when we would learn about how back in the day they'd have the white bathroom and the colored bathroom, I don't know why. That just gets me so mad. It's like, you really view people that different? I mean, I've never understood it. I mean, my best friend was black, so I really don't understand the whole racist standpoint. I don't understand how someone can be so narrow-minded, shallow, crude. I've just never gotten it. Like I said, I'll tell racist jokes, I'll laugh at racist jokes, hell, I might say racist things just to be funny when I'm with my friends, or we're just being funny and stupid. I mean, the situations I'm talking about, but I don't live by them. I do not support them. And I am in no way racist myself. I don't expect special treatment just because I'm white. I don't think anyone should receive any special treatment just based off their race, their religion, anything. That's just my standpoint on it, just to clear things up. So in the comment section below, guys, please give me your thoughts on this rant, and there will be more random rants to come, I promise you. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe, thumbs up, and I'll see you later.